Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the GOWEN Racing Podcast here on the channel. Episode number 23, I believe it is, this week. Coming at you guys, we have some interesting NASCAR news to go over, some F1 stuff that we're going to look over as well from the Austrian Grand Prix. But first, of course, we're going to be diving into NASCAR on today's episode. But I am joined by JayCook. How we doing this week, Mr. Cook?
Doing pretty darn good, Mr. Owen. Excited about a lot of the announcements and stuff that have come in the last week or so.
And of course, our team's in the playoffs and the Stanley Cup final right now. Tampa Bay Lightning. Things are looking pretty good. We're recording this just before game 2, so hopefully we'll come out on top tonight against the Canadians. Matt O'Brien is here as well. Matt, how are you doing this week?
Pretty good.
That's it? Pretty good?
Yep. I mean, nothing really too exciting happened for me this week, I don't think.
Well, there you have it.
I just got done with NIS, but
you finished 9th?
I did. Of course, for me, that's like a win.
I should have shown up. I could have won, maybe. So NASCAR this weekend went to Pocono, double header, by the way, 2 races in one weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Both races I felt like were pretty good. I think before we dive into what happened,
for
I'd
Pocono,
let you guys elaborate.
I guess I'll go. For Pocono standards, they were godlike.
Yeah, both of those races were extremely good, especially compared to what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And
I'd give each one I'd give like Saturday's race like an 8, and then Sunday's like a 7.
I do a 7 and a 6.
I do same as Karma, 8 and a 7.
Okay. So first race, it was pretty good racing overall. Of course, clean air was still really important, but at this point, I don't remember who was winning stage 1 or 2.
KFB won stage 1.
Kyle Busch. Cole Custer got turned by Brad Keselowski and
murdered him in cold blood.
Destroyed him.
No chance of survival.
So SHR being SHR, obviously Cole Custer couldn't do anything about it, but the big thing was, of course, the final stage. I feel like there was like a few incidents in there.
Let's see. Newman had that self spin.
Yeah.
There was the Alfredo LaJoy.
Oh yeah, LaJoy gets turned around.
Then there was the Ross Chastain thing. And then there was the very start of the race where Chase Elliott got his damage.
The quarter panel thing. But the final stage, Alex Bowman, specifically late in that race, made a tremendous restart on the inside line, got out in front.
Out restarted Kyle Busch.
And that was it. It was Bowman running away. Kyle Larson was able to end up eventually moving into second place. And he got to the 48 of Alex Bowman, but it took him a little bit. He was struggling to pass him. I'm guessing that the 48 his car just went too much away there, and Larson was able to eventually get him, and then he had nothing for him because Larson pulled a huge gap after he had passed that 48 car. Maybe he should have backed it down a little bit. Because on the last lap in the last corner, he paid
unbelievable. I don't think him running too hard was the problem. I honestly think it was just a bad tire.
Well, either way, it goes into the final turn, blows a tire, leading the race, and head on into the wall he goes. Alex Bowman goes through to pick up his 3rd win on the year. So, terrible luck there for the 5 of Larson, of course, but for me,
man, it sucks for Larson, but man, I feel so bad for Larson, man. Like he's been struggling lately and stuff, you know.
You would have thought I was celebrating like Tampa Bay winning Stanley Cup.
I was in disbelief. I was so because everyone was like, because like I'm in Discord with other Nitro guys during the races, and we're just all like, once Larson got by, we were just like, okay, okay, let's see how it's going. And I'm just watching the turn 3. I'm like, wait, Larson's tire! Oh no! And everyone just goes ballistic.
Me and Gary both just started screaming.
Yeah, I was
And
screaming too.
just-
I was
just
like,
kinda
he has a
that
flat. Everyone was just in disbelief.
Yeah. I mean, we rarely see anything like that happen.
So
Especially Pocono.
yeah, so there was actually a picture of him going down on the exit of turn 1. You could already see it was going flat down before the tunnel turn. So something even before then. So I don't know.
Remember he said he felt it in the tunnel turn.
Mm-hmm.
And something was screwed up, and obviously, next turn, boom, there he goes. So unfortunate for Larson, but he's already won 4 races. So, oh well. But Alex Bowman gets his 3rd win on the year. A lot of people haven't, because I mean, Richmond, he only had that win because of a late restart. Pocono, obviously, he passed Larson in that final turn after blowing the tire, but like a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit for the wins this year. Which I can see their reasoning, and they even
I mean, even Bowman's like analogy, like that was just luck.
Oh yeah.
There's
Richmond, he had an extremely fast car, was the fastest car on the track at the end of that race, and then he got the lucky caution, and then he went and drove by both of the guys he needed to beat. So I don't get how he lucked into that one. Dover, I don't think he lucked into that. His pit crew put him out front, which is not luck, and by the end of the race, he drove away from Kyle Larson.
I mean, he led like the last 100, almost 100 laps in that race. You're gonna say that was luck?
Lucking into that. So
yeah,
I would say this one was the only true luck one he's had this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys
agree with that as well.
I agree. I agree with that.
But yeah, I mean, so I was happy for Bowman. I like seeing a guy like him have success. A guy that's
he's the only Hendrick. He's the only Hendrick driver that shows 1 ounce of emotion.
Yeah, Bowman's just a cool dude,
Yeah. He's low key really funny on social media.
Yeah, I follow all of his socials. I don't follow many NASCAR drivers, to be honest, but he's one of the ones I just follow everywhere.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Race 2, by the way.
Ooh.
Did Kyle Busch win every stage?
No, I don't think so. No, he didn't win a stage.
Oh, really?
No. I think he pitted at the end of stage 1, and then stage 2 he started having his issues.
Okay. Oh well, yeah, because he obviously got stuck in 4th gear.
All right, so yeah, Kyle Busch won this race, and when I'm just gonna say something, we should have honestly realized there was no hope for anyone in this race when Kyle Busch is singing in the car. We should have known it was over. It was over. There was no hope.
When Kyle Busch is happy, it's a weird sight, and he's gonna be really good.
When Kyle's happy, oh no.
Yeah.
This race was.
I mean, he had that gear problem. I was like, okay, he's not gonna win.
I took him out of fantasy.
So did I. So did I. I was listening to Steve Letarte when he was saying he's going to struggle on restarts and everything, and I was like, you know what? He's got a point. And I took him out of fantasy. Boy, did I wind up regretting that. I was leading fantasy before I took him out, too.
Yeah, I have a feeling a lot of people took Kyle Busch out. Yeah. Eric Jones had a problem in the second race. Sad face.
Where'd he finish?
31st.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was the when he ran it back Custer on that one restart.
Suarez had a good
weekend
going. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit more about Daniel Suarez soon.
Oh boy.
But, a good
boy.
weekend for him. Yeah. He finished a little bit worse in the second race than what he was going to
because
he ran out of fuel. Yeah, he ran out of fuel right at the end of the race and lost a few spots, not many. You probably would have been 13th actually again. But overall,
Let's talk.
both races they gained points on the cut line.
Yeah. So, man, It was. I used to hate fuel mileage races a lot, but it just felt so good to have one again. You know.
Yeah, I've
That
never been
one,
a fan of
I
them.
enjoyed the crap out of
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
that one was great.
I think
Like that one actually had me interested because it was like I was so interested to
They're
see what
because
was
they're
going to
like
happen, and there was actually stuff going on with it.
and you knew what the fuel window was at the start of the race, and I'm like, man, you're really trying to stretch this one out.
I think I would have been more disappointed if it ended up having like a Michael McDowell type winner though.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I wouldn't have
True.
been happy at all. But I mean,
But I mean, like, I still think the fuel mileage. You know, there's always big complaints about fuel mileage. I have never really complained about it that much. I mean, there's been times where I have based on the specific winners like Austin Dillon and a couple others, but
Mm-hmm.
fuel mileage in general, I still find to be really interesting because it's like it's not necessarily luck. It's literally coming down to what crew chiefs are smart enough to know how much fuel they have, how much they need to save, and what teams are best at getting the cars full and all that kind of stuff. So there's still a lot of like stuff around fuel mileage races, and I enjoy them most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, people are gonna say Nashville was a fuel mileage race, but like this is what I think a fuel mileage race is. It's like when literally half the field is running out of gas.
yeah.
And like I'm trying to remember like the last time that happened. I want to say it's Austin Dillon's win in the 600.
Probably, I can't think of another
Yeah,
time.
what was that? What,
More
2018?
recent.
17.
17.
Yeah, I'm just looking through because I remember Kenseth at Pocono in 15 as a Kenseth fan. I remember that literally everyone ran out of gas. But I don't remember one last season.
Yeah, last season. I can't even think
No.
I can't think of
I
any.
really think it's 2017. The 2017 500 too was a fuel mileage race.
Yeah, Kurt ran out, or sorry, not Kurt.
And a lot of people
Elliott
ran
out.
out.
Larson ran
A lot.
out. Yeah, that was interesting.
I guess Kyle Busch's win in Texas last season was a fuel mileage win because he had a different strategy, but like it's been a long time since like half the field's going to stretch it, trying to stretch it and stuff, and it was so intense because there was like 5 cars all clustered up, all just playing this giant cat and mouse game, you know?
Yeah.
I think it also helped because the announcers were being so intense about it and like doing a really good job covering it. I thought, and it's just thank you NBC.
Yeah. Let's talk about this fuel mileage race. I think we can dub our lol cow of the week, William Byam's crew chief. I'm gonna give that one to Rudy
won.
Fudge, whatever.
I mean,
Yeah,
he had enough of a gap.
you know, the thing was, it was weird. It was just like they even said it's like, don't half-ass it. You know, you tell them to push, and they're like, or save. That's not how it works. You should just went full push or full save. They didn't either, and they paid the price.
Yeah, I don't even know where they finished.
12.
Can't be. Yeah. Okay, that's actually not terrible, but obviously
It should have been
gave
much
up a
better.
potential win.
That or like a top 5.
Yeah, it was gonna be hard because Kyle still pitted a lap later than everybody, so he had that advantage there.
Yeah, you as a Hamlin fan must have been pretty disappointed to come to the white.
Yeah, I was just like, man, I wasn't too sad because I'm just like, I'm fully with
It's
the whole
expected.
Daniel hype train, but I was just like, he ran good, so I don't think they're in trouble over on their own team.
I don't think it's. I don't. It's pretty obvious now who's the best JGR car, though.
18 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I think he had the best car in both races, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
so by the way, the playoff grid, worth noting. So
it has changed quite a bit.
Harvick, he's 158 to the good. He's fine. Kurt Busch. Oh, by the way, Matt, remember when I said I could see Kurt Busch getting in over Busher.
Right.
Look what's
Mental
happening.
collapse. Like, yeah. It was more a statement about like Matty D and that, but
So Kurt's in by 3.
Mhm.
Busher out by 3. Reddick's in by 48. Similar to what's going on in our NR 2003 series, is Reddick is falling down the order a little bit here.
I still think Reddick's got enough speed to do it though.
I think he's got the speed, but I don't think he will make it.
I think he's gonna make it.
Dillon's 91 to the good. He's pretty safe. Suarez, who was outside of the top 20 recently, is now up to 18th, 48 out. Stanos is 54. Bubba Wallace is 54 out. Bubba Wallace, first top 5 of the year with 23:11. I don't know where they were running when the fuel mileage like kicked off with people running out and pitting.
He was top 15 all day, so
Either way, a great day for that
He was
team.
top 10.
he
majority of
was
the
one
day.
of the he was one of the further guys back in the fuel mileage game, but he made it. So
So,
sometimes being further back in a fuel mileage race is the best thing to happen.
strong finish for them. De Benedetto 60 out. Jay. One of those races he had a series of penalties. Do you remember what happened there?
Yeah, his crew on Saturday, his crew left the gas can in the car and it got drug out as he was leaving the box, and then there was a penalty for that. And then on his time on the pit road serving the penalty, he sped, so that ruined his race Saturday. And then Sunday they just legitimately didn't have track position and were bad. They kept saying they had good speed on Twitter, but it did not show on track at all.
So at 60 points, I mean they can still make that up.
I don't think no, they're not good enough.
Chastain had a rough weekend.
Yes, he did.
He's been showing a lot of speed lately.
Chip Ganassi in general.
Oh, well, they won't be showing speed next year.
Whoa.
What are we?
What do you mean, Gary?
Well, you know what? Should we just jump into it?
Sure.
So,
Trackhouse launched a nuke on NASCAR.
About a week ago, GMS was like, "We're going cup racing. We got charters." Or colleague was a charter one. They got charters. They got full time and a part time car, and they got charters. And Justin Marks is like, "We got no charter. We didn't know this was going on." And so Trackhouse the charter list is not looking great, not looking hot going into this 2022 next gen deal for this new team. That's very promising. And then today,
at the time, it didn't look good.
Yes, today, out of nowhere. So obviously, I knew there was an announcement coming. I opened up Twitter before I went to work, and I was like, "Trackhouse is making a major announcement today." I didn't know what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a charter. Obviously, I was like, "They got a charter."
That was my. I was like, it's a charter, or like a second team.
Yeah, I
regardless
thought
of charter.
Second team.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of got that.
Well, and then I was watching. I'm watching the live stream. I see Chip Ganassi. I'm just like, what in the hell? Why is he here?
I was trying to find the live stream, and I recently updated my feed, and all I saw was a tweet from Adam Stern, and I didn't even read it. I just saw Trackhouse, Chip Ganassi logos, and I went, wait a second. I immediately freaked out. I was like, there's no fucking way. It took me a minute to actually process that was actually happening.
Trackhouse has bought or purchased Chip Ganassi's Cup Series program for next year, so they're going to get everything. And that also means the 99 car and Suarez will remain next year. They have confirmed with the charter, and plus a second charter, so they will have 2 cars next year. So Suarez in the 99 and a second driver to be determined. Now, you guys think that
Marks has already said that obviously things can change, but the top Kurt and Ross Chastain are going to be the two, like that's who they're going to try to keep, because Marks has also said they want to retain as many people as they can. So it's going to be Kurt or Chastain.
Well, hopefully it's Kurt.
90%. Yeah, it's also interesting that Kurt was like, "Yeah, Trackhouse offered me a contract like a month ago."
Yeah, and now we're hearing this.
Yeah,
It would for me. It would be awkward if it was Chastain because obviously my favorite team, my favorite driver, and then we got my most hated driver on the same team.
Yeah, how are you gonna feel about that?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I think they're gonna go for Kurt though. Got the
Yeah,
experience.
I think
he knows where a team needs to go.
That
so
monster
the thing is,
and that Monster Energy money look hot.
That's a lot of money. Chastain doesn't have any sponsorship like that.
and also the thing is, as Justin talked about, it was about a 2-month process for this whole thing to happen. And so, if like a month or two ago, Kurt said that Trackhouse offered him a contract, then obviously that means that they already kind of, Trackhouse already kind of had a thinking of we're buying Chip Ganassi. So that tells me that they obviously want Kurt over Ross, but they will take Ross if Kurt doesn't want to go to them. So
Yeah.
I have to think that Kurt is probably going to wind up being the one to take the second Trackhouse car.
I think if I'm Kurt Busch, you're seeing the promise they already have with the RCR alliance. I think it's a no-brainer to stick with Trackhouse.
And now, yeah, and if he signed with Trackhouse, he'd be sticking with the same people probably. He would have mostly the same equipment. So I mean, it wouldn't be that much of a change aside just from ownership.
We're saying, I think that's been creeping into my mind lately is everyone's saying equipment, and yes, there's still going to be equipment disparity, but we're going into honestly the great unknown next season.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about as far as familiarity.
Yeah,
more or less
well,
what I mean.
I'm talking more like a general sense. It's like we don't know. Like this is supposed to be a lot more spec parts, and people are getting the parts from the exact same place. So like everyone should be a lot more equal. So like
that's true.
I mean, we're just going into the great unknown. We might go into next year. I highly doubt this is what's going to be the case, but Hendrick might just like Hendrick, for example. They might be on top now. They might be like the 10th best team next season because they just miss it.
That's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it is possible.
I don't think it's going to happen at all. But like, a lot of these parts are spec, so in theory, driver talent should be more of a thing. So we'll see how that goes.
I think Trackhouse now, though, with this, at least has a better opportunity to be further up the development line compared to other teams by doing this than what they would have been if they hadn't have done something like this.
Yeah. Also, if you didn't know, they're just straight up moving into Chip Ganassi's NASCAR shop. If you don't know, Gary.
Is the whole Nashville thing going to be off, or
no?
He said
the way he worded it was for 2022. So I'm assuming they're still going to build their Nashville thing and just use Chip Ganassi's for next year.
Okay.
That, or they can stay there a couple of years because like it can't be a bad place to stay.
Yeah, I'm also guessing that ends the RCR alliance.
No.
Really?
Nope.
Okay. Well, heck, are they going to be the one giving RCR the stuff now?
No.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta think about it. Trackhouse has actually never built their own car.
Yeah, I mean now they're gonna have to, obviously, because.
Oh, I think that's the weird thing with all these alliances, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, how are these alliances gonna work with this new car that no one knows what to do with? You know, and like the bodies are, kind of like the stocked and like it's gonna be interesting next year. But there's also the possibility that they go with neither Kurt or Chastain too.
That's what. Okay, so if they don't, who do you guys think should be in that second car?
Fuck.
I honestly I haven't even thought about the possibility of someone else being in the car because I feel like it's Kurt or
Chastain.
It's got to be Kurt or Ross, and really I think it's only going to be Kurt. I don't even know if Ross has a chance. Honestly, I feel like it will be Kurt.
That's what I feel.
It's not one of those two. Almirola, maybe, if he has a sponsorship still with him, and Trackhouse is that desperate. Eric Jones.
Yeah, I mean,
man, Suarez and Jones on the same team.
The JGR Revenge Tour.
Yes.
Maybe De Benedetto, but there already seems to be something in line for him with Ford.
I don't think I'm gonna keep on saying until it happens. I don't think he's a shoe in for that 21, man. I don't. But of course, we'll find out. We'll find out.
Would be in the 21 if it's not the Benedetto.
We don't know yet.
You don't know, but like you got to think of it. It's not. You don't need sponsorship to be in that 21 car.
Correct. I should point out I was wrong. Gregson to the 1. It's not happening.
What, Gary? You're wrong on a prediction
Rare.
that I've been trying to tell you all season that it was never gonna happen.
It was gonna happen.
I still think it's possible for Noah to go to the Cup Series, but I never thought it'd be possible with Chip Ganassi. Not this year or not next year.
I mean, it could be the colleague thing.
Yeah, I'm saying like either colleague or GMS.
GMS would actually.
I don't think colleague would think about signing Gregson. Because they got.
Well, they also got to get a part-time driver.
Yeah,
it's also part-time.
Yeah.
I mean, if Ross gets dumped, that's probably where that's where Ross would go 100%.
Yeah, that's what people have already talked about as well, but
that's not full time.
So, what do you think Ganassi's thought was here? Like, did he just want to get out of NASCAR and focus on IndyCar? Or?
Yeah, well, I think so.
I don't think. I mean, of course we don't know if he's telling the truth or not. When he was like, I wasn't even thinking of selling the team, but basically got an offer he couldn't refuse.
I wonder how much.
I don't believe that for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
I just wonder how much.
I think that's just what he's saying to not upset his employees. I legitimately think he's been thinking about getting out of NASCAR for a couple years now. Just especially with the way that team's performance has been. Like he's not.
I don't understand
about it like he used to.
I don't think they're that bad though.
No, like, I'm not saying I don't get this argument. They're not like they're not like they used to be when Larson was there and winning races with them.
But Kurt's been winning races with them too.
I understand that, but my point is they are certainly not the team they were 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean they've never been a championship contending team, but
they can get the win here and there though.
Yeah, they can contend for a little bit in the playoffs. But I don't know. Just interesting. I mean, obviously, like didn't see anything like this coming ever.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, I kind of did. I've been saying it all year.
And you did not tell me Chip Ganassi was shutting down.
No, I did not say that he was specifically going to sell the team after this year and all that kind of stuff. But I've said it countless times this season that I think Chip wants to get out of NASCAR. And boom, here we are.
Now, I guess going even more silly season stuff too. So Chris Knight's been tweeting a lot about what's going on. Apparently, Rick Ware charters are not for sale.
They will be if someone pays enough.
Well,
which is one of their Junior Motorsports.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to talk about because Junior basically said, "Yeah, don't expect us in Cup."
Without a charter, that is.
He said he's not going. He's not paying that money.
Yeah, well, he confirmed that $10 million rumor that was speculated. $10 million for a charter is unbelievable.
I think it's insane.
Thing is like if they're going for 10 million, then obviously they make at least 10 million, right? So at least you would think.
I don't know. No, see, here's the. Let's put it this way.
Oh no, I guess never mind.
Let's put it this way. Rick Ware, he's getting last place money every week, right? Essentially.
Well, to be fair, the purse in NASCAR does not separate that much from first down to 40th
anymore. Yeah. But the point is that you're still getting less.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to Rick what the profit margin is, right? Because for all we know, JGR could be making for example, could be making like $500K a race in profit overall, right? While Rick Ware might only make $50K, but he can oversell this so bad because he knows it's a profitable business, so people will eventually want to buy into it.
Yeah, that's also true.
and that's like, yeah, I mean, I think 10 million is ridiculous, but another thing Chris and I said that, or I forget who said it, but I mean, the one charter from Rick Ware is at risk for the bottom 3 rule.
51 car.
And
Yeah,
basically
it's 51.
the rumors are with that are NASCAR is going to encourage them to sell it.
Yep. And then Chris Knight has also said, essentially, the charter system is what silly season is going to be for the next 2 years. And if you think this is the end of it, it's not. Expect a lot more between now and Daytona in February.
Kind of excited.
Thing is,
And really nervous.
that 10 million price isn't necessarily being set right by Rick Ware though. That was a price set by Spire's standards because that's what Colleague paid for. They paid 10 million,
Rumored.
roughly 10
Well,
million each.
We don't know that though. There's no confirmation of what they paid.
Was it just a rumor that I saw earlier today then?
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
rumor
Adam
that came
Stern.
out a couple weeks ago, and then Dale Jr.
Yeah.
also mentioned it.
So yeah, it's probably they probably did pay 10 million for each one, but we don't know exactly.
Well, anyways, my point is that means that it's not just Rick Ware valuing it at that. That's several teams valuing it at that high. So,
well, it's also probably a thing where the one team hears this, so they bump up their price and blah blah, and it never ends.
Yeah. I guess it's hard to judge from an outside perspective how much a team makes with a charter, because 10 million sounds like a lot, but at the same time, like, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you make 10 million between all the sponsor deals, the purse, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we don't know, and I mean, there's a lot of moving parts right now. You got to think right now in the NASCAR world because you got to think. Well, apparently Richard Petty's charter is up for sale. Even though Rick Ware's not saying they're for sale, I had to imagine they are up for sale. And Starcom
No,
maybe.
I genuinely doubt that Rick Wares is up for sale just because of how
Right,
that guy
right.
is.
If he gets the
I
money, he'll
genuinely
take it.
doubt. Unless he gets like a $15 million offer, he's not going to sell it. Just because he's just here to use it to make money, and if he's not going to make a buttload selling it, then he's not going to sell it.
Got a good point on that one.
And luckily, that second charter, the 51 charter, luckily that's controlled by Richard Petty, so that one will probably get sold to somebody.
Yeah, who would take it?
If it's under the $10 million asking price, probably Junior Motorsports or 23XI.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, 23XI is the one. I was like, man, I know there's one that really wants a charter right now. Just can't. Yeah, 23XI, and then a second driver there, which brings in a whole lot of.
GMS already announced that they did acquire charters, right? Or they
No, they just said they're going Cup racing. That's it.
Okay, well then maybe they would be in the market for a charter or two as well.
Yeah.
I guess our idea, by the way, as well about Ganassi and Honda is gone.
Yeah.
That's
Scrap that.
Yeah. What seems so obvious.
Little did we know.
And I doubt Trackhouse would leave Chevy. Honestly, I think they'll.
Yeah, they seem.
With how much speed
Mark,
they got right now with that Chevy.
Well, I think Marks is a Chevy guy, so.
Yeah, they seem to have a really good relationship with Chevy, so I'm not too sure what team would wind up switching to Honda.
RPM.
Maybe Roush Fenway, just because it's.
No.
It depends on who's in a leadership role when Honda comes in, because if it's still Roush Fenway, then they won't leave because Roush has the whole thing with Ford. He's basically like a fucking owner of Ford.
Well, you also have to think Brad's a Ford guy.
Yeah, that's true. From Michigan.
Yeah,
all about American cars.
Brad,
yeah, that's true. That's
Brad
true.
had a Tesla. Bringing Tesla in.
I think the thing is though Roush would probably go with it if Honda offered enough money, and I have to think if Honda wanted to come into NASCAR, they probably would be like Toyota and just put buttloads of money into whatever team got it. So maybe at that point, Brad would probably go for it because I imagine he wants to make that team competitive. And
so I just want to, cause I don't watch IndyCar too much. Is Penske and IndyCar is Chevy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was like, man, if they were Honda and IndyCar, that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. But
It could make a lot of sense because Penske technically works with Honda now through owning IndyCar,
true, but it would also be
and
really awkward.
Chevy. Yeah,
But
Chevy may.
yet again, it's a little awkward that he's Chevy and IndyCar in Ford.
Well, I mean, it's a little awkward if you were to be Chevy and Ford or Chevy and Honda. It's a little awkward either way.
Yeah, so you would have to imagine they go for a big team, right?
Yeah.
That would be the smart thing.
For all we know, Honda goes to Michael Andretti and is like, "Hey, make a NASCAR team. We'll make it Honda. Pay you a buttload of money."
The world
doubt.
would burn. The world would burn.
That is a huge doubt. There's
would
no
make
way they
it-
go away from Chevy
That'd be
ever.
coming in with a statement, though.
The only way that happens is if Chevy says they're leaving NASCAR. And even then, Hendrick would probably still run Chevy just because fuck it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's nothing because like JGR, they ain't leaving Toyota.
Yeah, and as long as Denny Hamlin is a part of that team, 23XI, it won't change to Honda either.
It won't be Stuart Haas because Stuart left Gibbs basically because they went to the Toyota, so he doesn't want any of that. It's an interesting thought, just who would go?
I don't know.
We'll move on. We'll
Yeah,
see what happens, but we still
the
have
bottom.
NASCAR.
It's a bottomless pit.
We still have NASCAR news though. Jeff Gordon. This is, right here, honestly, like a couple decades in the works. It was happening eventually. Jeff Gordon is now vice chairman starting next year of Hendrick Motorsports.
Mr. H is number 2.
Yes.
Does he still have a stake in the 48?
Yes.
Okay. Well, obviously, I guess now since he
It's
owns
the
a team, he's a
5.
stake in all
I
of
don't.
them,
I don't actually believe
the 5 now.
I don't actually believe they put stake in the cars.
Gary. All right, I'm leaving the podcast for the night. I'll see you guys later.
No, but anyways, cool for Jeff Gordon. We knew, like I said, that was like a couple decades.
Yeah, that was one of the most obvious things in all of NASCAR, honestly.
So it was just a matter of time. We heard rumors over the last month or so that it might have been happening. He hasn't decided, and obviously came up with a decision pretty quick, and will be vice chairman. Now, does this add to this feel of this powerhouse team in development? You guys think?
Yeah, I think it does, honestly. Having Jeff Gordon oversee the competition stuff, and then Chad Canals right under him, like that. That's almost unstoppable. I think Jeff knows what it takes to be a winning driver, and then obviously Chad knows what it takes to make the cars go extremely fast. And they've shown it this season with Chad being competition director. That, good lord, they have taken off.
Yeah.
So I think that Jeff in a leadership role with Hendrick, and then alongside Chad Canals. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Combine that with the 4 drivers they have, 2 of them some of the greatest talents in the sport at the moment. Holy crap.
Yeah. I'm still gonna say it. That's what that's talking about Hendrick. I'm still gonna say it. I think Chase is the weakest one right now.
This year, currently, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think any of us saw that happening.
Nope.
Yeah. And you gotta think it's like, man, his win's honestly luck.
Yeah.
In a way, because he was gonna run out of gas. Yeah.
So Hendrick's in a good direction. When Elliott is your quote unquote worst driver right now, with a win and still doing good in the points, you're having a great year.
Oh yeah.
So this weekend we're Road America. We'll
Road
give our
America.
predictions on that later at the end here. We got about 40 more minutes maximum before our game starts. But before we move on from NASCAR, one little bit here scrolling through. Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace are going to be in Post Malone's new music video.
Oh joy.
They're shooting it at a racetrack.
Post Malone, part owner of 23XI, confirmed.
There you have it.
Man, imagine a team where your owners are Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, and Post Malone.
That's just like a
What the
massive
hell
flex.
happened here? That's what the hell happened here? So, all right.
And then you got Pitbull, of course, of Trackhouse, and like, goodness gracious. But we're gonna move on to some Formula One. So we had an F1 race in Austria GP or Styrian Grand Prix, I think it was this weekend.
Stereo. It's the stereo one.
So we predicted Max Verstappen to win that race. We were all correct.
Yep. We all said Lewis second, I think.
Yep. I said Perez third.
I
Almost
said
got it.
Bottas third. I think I got it right.
You did.
I did.
So I mean, overall,
I did not get mine right.
Neither did I.
No, no.
I think we're all surprised that the France GP put on a better race.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a besides the Leclerc being a clown on lap one, it was a
That was
pretty
something.
snooze fest.
I didn't get to watch the whole race. I only got to see the ending. But yeah, I watched the race highlights, and Leclerc's first lap, he was all over the place.
Yeah, he was out for blood.
He had a good drive back through the field.
Yeah.
Like he made up for his stupidity there on lap one.
Ask Gasly that.
Yeah, well, yeah. How does he feel? I wonder.
Yeah.
Hey man, to be fair, Gasly pushed him wide, so
And to be fair, Leclerc was a clown.
I mean he misjudged pulling back behind him.
No kidding.
Yeah, fun fact, by the way. Since 2019 or 2020, I can't remember. Either way, Leclerc has crashed more than Sebastian Vettel.
See, the thing with Leclerc, when he crashes, he crashes.
Yeah.
Vettel would just more be like spin out.
Spin, yeah, spin all in.
But like when Leclerc crashes, he makes sure he crashes.
He makes sure it's a memorable one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he finished P7 right behind Carlos Sainz. Sainz has been doing solid in the Ferrari. If they were a top team again, like they'd be both doing really good. Sainz is definitely doing his part. So Perez doing his part on Red Bull.
Yeah.
Ricardo had a rough race. I know I guess he had
Well,
power issues and stuff.
Yeah. He was like he went from 13th to 9th in 2 laps, and then the power issue, and then that pretty much ruined his race.
Yeah.
And then I just got
it was slow as crap.
It's not working out too well.
He genuinely just had old parts. Honestly, I think they just had to go into that weekend with parts that they couldn't change.
Yeah, but it's not.
I don't think that's it, man.
He's been that far off.
Yeah, like he's just the car's not for him.
I don't know if he's ever been that far off though. Like that was excessively bad.
Now, of course, the new car next year, I wouldn't give up hope because I mean the new cars aren't going to drive like the current car. So I mean, Ricardo might, whatever they come up with, it might suit him better. So it's almost like hang on and survive this year and get to next year.
I mean, yeah, ever since he's left Red Bull, he's never really given himself a chance to get comfortable with a car.
He did a lot better with Renault though.
The second year he was really good. Also, I just want to say George Russell is cursed. This man, I don't know what he's done, but apparently he's done something really bad because this man cannot catch a break.
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but it was driver error, right? Didn't he miss something with the clutch? Didn't he miss something with the shift?
No.
Really?
No.
I thought they said there was a clutch issue that had to retire him.
I think it was because it was getting too hot.
Oh, okay.
I think it was because it was hot there, and then like like what are you supposed to do when you're in a DRS train,
True.
But like he was P8, man. But like literally anytime George is like close to points, something happens.
Or close to
Williams has genuinely improved a lot this season too.
Yeah, they're definitely a little bit better.
I really hope they're investing a lot into the next car though. not
Yeah.
focusing on what they have right now.
You know,
Well,
you know.
I saw a graphic recently, last week before the race, and it was that of the like it was a graphic of what teams have gained time this year and stuff, and Ferrari has gained the most out of everybody, and then I think Williams was like second or third right behind him. So
Um. Yeah, you want to be really funny though. Haas puts all this time into next year's car, and they're still the worst team next year.
That would be funny.
if
I
they stick
honestly,
with their current set of drivers, which I don't think Mick is all that bad, but he hasn't done
I've
much to
I've
show so
heard
far that he is going to be good, and then Mazepin is, yeah,
I've
well,
heard a rumor that Schumacher and Alfa Romeo is still a legitimate possibility.
good.
So it could be like a Leclerc line there. He goes to Alfa Romeo, then goes to Ferrari in place of Sainz or something.
besides his contract's 3 years, man.
Yeah,
Thing
that's
is,
I'm not saying the rush now. I say when that contract's up, that's where Schumacher goes. In my personal opinion, I like Schumacher.
I don't know. Leclerc could leave Ferrari too. Still,
He's long term.
I doubt it, but I mean, you know,
I think I like Schumacher. I don't think he is a world champion caliber driver.
yeah, I agree with that at the moment, and that's simply because for me, I haven't seen much out of him yet.
But like,
It's
how can you see
possible that he's-
anything?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true, but you know, it's just I don't know. I think at the moment a lot of hype is around his name, and I don't think that's a bad thing because you know you kind of would expect him to be good, and a lot of people want him to be good, and I hope that he is good. Uh, but at the moment, I mean, everybody talks about how bad Mazepin is, but honestly, Schumacher's kind of been right there with him with the spins and stuff. So
Did you
Yeah,
see the thing
they-
where? Did you see the thing where Gunter gave Mazepin a spin top?
Yeah.
yeah, he
And
calls
called
him
him
Mazespin.
Mazepin. Yeah,
That was
Mazepin.
great.
Jesus, man.
Got
But
your own team owner roasting you. Your team principal roasting you.
yeah, that's pretty good.
At least they acknowledge it.
Well, Gunter doesn't
Yeah.
hold back. Gunter's just
Yeah,
the coolest dude out there.
and I think it's also pretty easy to say that if it was up to Gunter, he would not be there. Mazepin would not be there.
I would think that would be right, but we don't know.
I mean, considering how much Gene was all over his ass about find me money, I mean, what else is Gene supposed to do? Or what else is Gunter supposed to do?
What else happened here? The Norris P5. I mean,
Lando's so good, man.
yeah.
I mean,
Lando's
I feel bad for Lando that race. He was just alone already.
yeah. I got to get used to that. He seems to be
mean-
just around fifth all the time right now.
Yeah. Like, what is he supposed to do, right? Like the top four. Like he's not going to be faster than Perez and Bottas and Hamilton and Verstappen, right? Like he's not. The car isn't that good. You know, like it's a good car, but it's not. You know, a top two car. I mean, he's finishing where he should. Like what? Like he can only do so much. And yeah, he's damn good. Also, obviously, the margin of victory is very much inflated by a late pit stop by Hamilton to get fastest lap. But like even before the pit stop, he was leading by 9 seconds.
Yeah, he had a good lead.
And then there were some interesting comments after the race where I don't know if you heard. Toto said, "Yeah, we're done with the car."
Yeah, I did see that.
But
The thing is I've seen things since then saying that they are.
Yeah, they're gonna do more upgrades. I've seen. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on, huh? And like, to me, when Toto said that, I'm like, it's 100% mind games.
Yep.
That was my initial thought.
Well, Toto and Christian go back and forth all the time, but they also know that it's glorious for the sport to go back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
Like not only are they competitors, but they know that what they're saying about each other is really good for the entertainment value.
Oh, and they're also really good friends too. Like they go at each other a bit, but like they're not doing it out of spite. They're doing it out of, hey, we're competitors. Let's give something, some people something to talk about and stuff.
And also another thing to note, there was an article just about like it's pretty obvious the Red Bull is just straight up faster at this point.
Oh yes, that's very
Uh,
obvious.
So they're just talking about like some upgrades and stuff, and we've noticed the last few weeks Red Bull's rear wing has been much smaller. They've done a lot of work in the diffuser department. So Max had a brand new diffuser, like a completely different diffuser from what they had in France, I believe. But they only had time to make one of them, so obviously Max was going to get it. So I hope Perez gets the new one this
He will,
week.
yeah.
I would assume he gets it. I if that's the case, I don't see any reason why they won't be 1-2 this week. If he gets that part.
I saw a thing saying that they should have it for Perez this weekend. So
Okay. And like, there's no okay, maybe being faster than Hamilton might be a bit of a stretch, but like very well could possibly be a 1-2 Red Bull. And like obviously we don't want to say. Remember when we were like, oh yeah, Lewis will just run away with it. The tides are turning.
I was wrong.
very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly the tides are turning.
I was like, man, we're only like a couple weeks away from Lewis's 100th win, and Verstappen has postponed that indefinitely.
Lewis will still win
needs...
some races this year.
Yeah, he's gonna find a way. He needs 2 more for 100. I think it still happens this year. But
yeah.
Championship.
Yeah, something will still happen to Max at some point as well. Even if Mercedes winds up not being faster, it's just inevitable that something unfortunate will happen to Max at least a couple times.
Also, another upgrade that the Red Bulls have gotten, it's not really an upgrade, it's more of a fix. So early in the season, they had to tune their engines down for reliability purposes, but they have now rectified said issue, and they have gained around 15 horsepower. Well, that's also appearing quite evident as well with how fast they're down the straights. Red Bull's always the team you're like, man, they're slow in the straights.
Not anymore.
No. So.
Yeah, they're out front by 40 points over Mercedes in the constructors.
And then it's 18 points drivers.
Yeah, Verstappen's up, and Perez third. Bottas is still behind Norris in fifth.
I won't be surprised if it stays like that.
Vettel 10th. He had a rough weekend there outside of the points, but yeah, I mean Verstappen. I mean, of course, we got Austria again this weekend. Should be another Verstappen.
I wonder who will win.
And then you look at just what's coming up here. Great Britain. I think if Red Bull is doing this in Austria, they'll be strong in Britain too.
I mean, they won a race there last season, so
Hungary, that could be a
Red
Verstappen.
Bull.
Yeah, Belgium. Could
I think
go
that's
either way.
Yeah.
Netherlands, Red Bull.
Italy,
I think Italy could be the one where I can see Mercedes being the team.
But here's the thing.
But then the Red
Bull's running low drag.
Yes, Red Bull has that speed now.
And you see how small their wing is now? Imagine it at Monza. It'll be a piece of paper.
Either way, it's just Mercedes. Mercedes is they are lacking. They got to find something real quick before Verstappen.
I don't think it's real quick because for all we know, Max will DNF this week, and all of a sudden Lewis is back in the lead. But it can change quick still. Like it's still a long way to go.
Long way. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens again this weekend. Hopefully, it's a little bit crazier of a race.
There's a chance of rain, but you know how that goes.
Rain last weekend too, right? So
yeah.
So now we're gonna move on to some Nitro talk. Before we go to our final predictions for the upcoming weekend, we raced in Iowa.
Actually, after Nitro and before prediction, I want to bring something up that I've seen have a little traction on the, at least on Reddit. So.
Okay, we'll make Nitro quick.
It's just people like this theory crafting stuff,
okay. Yeah, Nitro's at Iowa, and Matt won the truck race, by the way. Very cool. Congratulations to him. Cup Series race. I don't even remember what I did in stage 1 and 2. But in the end of the race,
There was a lot of there was a lot of good racing in this race, actually.
Yeah, for me, I was in the boring part of the field, so I never got to see a lot of the action. I was like
my
too
video
wide a
was
couple of times.
My video was much longer than Gary's.
Yeah, I was able to get mine pretty short. And then I moved Jonathan for the win. That's pretty much it.
And then you made sure he didn't win that on the exit of 4.
Well, we came out of turn 4, and I was like, I think he's still gonna get me. So I was trying to put him in the wall. I didn't think I was gonna do what I did.
Yeah.
But I was like, I gotta
Commit
get
murder.
him up towards the wall. But I cleaned him out instead, and I felt bad about that part. But I didn't feel bad about winning.
Yeah.
So I was happy. But yeah,
He took it very well.
Yeah, it was. I told him, I was like, you should pay me back for that when you can. He's like, no, I'm not going to. I'm like, well, I'll make sure you pay me back somehow. But I don't know. It's just like
let's just people give I think people give Jonathan a lot of shit for this dumb shit. But I have a feeling if that a lot of people in Nitro, that the reaction would be a lot different if you did that to someone else, some other people, Gary.
Yeah, but for me, like, I'm at a point now where I don't care.
No, not what you did. Like Jonathan's reaction, like if that was other people's in that getting, just for the like semi dumped.
Yeah.
The person getting the dumpage, Jonathan took it much better than I'd say like 80% of the league would.
Yeah, like if I did that to like Andrew.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like last,
I'd be turning off. I'd be turning off Discord.
Last season, I wouldn't have even thought about doing what I've done to Eddie or Jonathan. But like for this season, I was just like, screw it. Like if I have a chance to win, I'm just gonna move you because I want to win. I'm like, I don't know how many more Nitro seasons I'm gonna do with the whole next game and the spectating, how that is. We've talked about that before. So I'm like, I want to get as many wins as I possibly can, and I feel like after getting taken advantage of for wins so many times, I'm just like, well, heck, I got to get those back somehow. So I'm gonna start moving people forward.
I hope I'm not in Pontorino range of Gary in the final turn.
I think actually, no, what I'd probably move you too.
Well, you do owe me one.
I would attempt to move anybody. Yeah, I do owe you one. Even Jay hasn't done anything to me. He's been my best friend for almost a decade. I'd move him.
That doesn't surprise me.
I would hope you would move me too.
I would, yeah. I 100% would if I was in that.
If I'm in Jonathan's position in Iowa, you should 100% try to move me. I don't see why you don't try to move someone.
You know, the funny thing is, this is the same thing happened in the Xfinity race. If Jonathan goes high, he's just going to win the race.
Yep. That's what
I
don't know why he gave me the opportunity.
The same thing happened in the Xfinity race. Kyle Busch, the guy who's in the 41 in the Cup race, he did the exact same thing. He went low in the final turn, and Jonathan moved him up. But Jonathan didn't win that race.
Oh.
Chaffee went on the outside of everyone and blew by both of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My Xfinity video is popping off. What is going on?
I looked at it. Because when I first looked at it, it was like 30 views, and I was like, that's doing like as good as your Cup one was.
It's doing better than Cup now.
Oh, heck.
What is going on?
Well, you look at the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So like that, I mean, thumbnails are important. So.
Yeah. But my NAS thumbnail, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
The video's a little long, but I was in the heap of the shits, as they would like to say. But yeah, no, I finished 6th. Probably could have finished better if I took a little more gas, huh, Gary?
Yeah. Well, how much?
I took half a can.
Okay, I took 1 can.
I was
2 tires.
I ran out. I was saving gas like the last 10 laps, and I ran out coming across the line. So yeah, if I took that, probably could have finished 4th or something, but whatever. How about the iRacing race, Gary?
Well, hold up. How did Jay do?
I think he had a really
We can
tight
just
car.
move on to the next section now.
So we were on iRacing
Yeah.
at Iowa.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I,
Gary, before the race, I'm just gonna start in park.
I texted Jay. I said, "Hey, I'll be on here like in a few. I'm just gonna run a couple laps." And then I ran
That in fact was a lie.
200. I think running a higher steering ratio than everybody, but by accident, I just thought that's what everybody was running. I think that helped me as well with the tire saving. So I might actually keep that in mind for the future. By the way, but yeah, I mean, actually, I was for the first time on an oval, legitimately competitive on long run speed, which I was happy with.
Maybe I was just debating you.
It might have been. I gave up so much time on the first run of the race, and obviously we never had a caution, so I had to play catch up the whole time. Because I couldn't figure out in the first 10, 15 how to drive the track. And then I got it down, and then the long run worked out, and then I did a 2-stop strategy. It turned out pretty good. I was hauling the mail at the end. Matt Chaffee and Joseph were going at it. I run them down. I'm trying to get past them. They're going all over the place. I get caught up in their mess. Next thing you know, I'm in the wall, almost around. I have to gain like 2 seconds back on them and pass them again. And then I try to get Matt, but I couldn't quite get there. And he won.
So Gary 2 stopped. I 1 stopped.
Yeah, you pitted already like around 100, right?
Yeah, no, I couldn't go an extra lap. I would have ran out.
That would have been awesome.
I only had like 2 laps of gas when I crossed the line at the end. But that was fun.
I enjoyed it because we didn't have one guy a lap ahead of everybody.
Yeah, it's a little more fun. And then yeah, I hope turnouts are better. That's all I'm gonna really say about the turnout situation and the iRacing side is that I hope people realize I actually pay my own money for it.
Yeah.
So
Joey was gonna race, by the way. And then I told him what the turnout was. He's like, "Yeah, I'm dipping. I'm not gonna do that."
yeah.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Oh well. I mean, you said by the way that there was some rumor or something you were looking at, or a theory.
It's not really rumors. It's just an idea, and I saw quite a bit of it in the last week. It was about hitting about who takes over Matty D, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't get the 21, and I saw there was a Reddit post, and it's like a lot of people are like, "What about Eric Jones?" And then here's the thing that would. Well, we don't know what's going to happen, right? We're just all theory crafting at this point, right?
Yeah.
But there would be a little backing behind it because remember when Eric got let go of JGR? Joey Logano, was helping him out through that whole situation and stuff. And what?
Oh, that was someone else.
Oh, but no, like it would be interesting, right? Because it's like, well, and even Ryan Blaney kind of spoke about it too. It's like, all right, you got Blaney and Logano talking about Eric getting, I guess you could say sacked, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Penske would be a guy if his drivers came to him and said, "Get this guy." Roger would listen, right? But it would be an interesting prospect. Maybe I'm just biased a little bit, 100% biased, but I'd enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know about Jones. If I can't see him going there though. But at the same time, I think it is the only chance to get anything better.
We don't know because there's still so many cards.
Trackhouse.
I mean, I still think that he's already got something lined up for next year if RPM is actually looking at selling their charter.
It could be the 21.
Unless that meant specifically the second charter that they have, and it wasn't detailed very well in that thing that came out saying they were looking to sell their charter. It could have been
It was
just
the
one
43.
charter.
They were talking about the 43.
Oh, okay. I don't remember what the report said at this point, so it could have
It was
specifically.
it was door bumper clear. So
They usually have a good idea of what's going on.
yeah.
Well, I still think that means that Eric probably has something lined up for next year. Then, if they're looking to sell that charter.
You'd also think it would have been said already too.
I don't know.
No. In the sense that Eric is leaving RPM.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
Talking about like the silly season. Well, I know it's honestly the most shocking thing about this Trackhouse thing. It didn't leak.
Yeah, usually something leaks out. Maybe they just
'Cause,
signed the deal like an
Because
hour
I got up
before.
this morning. I got up this morning for work, and I was checking Twitter like all morning, like every like 30 minutes or something. I was expecting like some Stern tweet or something. I'm like, what's happening? Hello? Any leaks? And then I was like, nope, no leaks. So I thought that was actually kind of. I enjoyed it. Like, it's nice that something didn't leak for once, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree as well. I mean, it just kind of blew our mind because we had no idea anything like that was coming.
Yeah, this man, Justin Marks, came out of nowhere and just dropped a tactical nuke on NASCAR's silly season.
I just want to know where Justin's getting all this money.
Hey man, Pitbull's like.
Do you know who his co-owner is?
That's right.
Pitbull be like, bah. Big money. Combat in my chat says I don't know if I'm honest. RPM switching to Toyota would be a good call, and I agree that's probably a high possibility.
Honda.
RPM Honda. Oh,
Maybe
Jesus.
RPM sells to 23XI now.
No, because then they would have to 2311 Petty.
Oh God, the cringe.
We don't.
I mean, we're not seeing Trackhouse become Trackhouse Ganassi Racing.
Yeah, but Petty has stated that they have to keep the Petty name with that charter.
Oh.
Yeah, so like if Trackhouse did it would be like Petty House Racing.
They're adamant about keeping that Petty name involved. So,
did not know that.
Yeah,
I literally wouldn't buy the charter simply because of that. I want my team
But
name
you're
to be
desperate
whatever I
enough.
You
want.
want to know what you do? You name your team Richard Petty Motorsports for 1 year, and then after that year, you just change it to whatever the fuck you want. They call me a genius, marketing genius. What can I say?
Hey, when the new charter system comes out, that's when you rename it. Like 2024
That's
or whatever.
the point.
Yeah, that's actually
So
hopefully that means we're gonna go to predictions now.
Well, we'll move on to predictions. Road America. So we had this system last week we wanted to do where we all choose one driver, has to be different. Don't remember who picked who to win.
I said Byron Hamlin.
I think Jay had Larson for one and and someone.
I don't remember, to be honest. We need to write this down.
And then I had Larson.
I don't remember at all.
So we'll officially start.
I think I had Larson for race 1 and you had Larson for race 2. I don't remember who I picked for race 2 though.
Yeah, all right, we'll officially start it this week then, because that came on the fly literally in the podcast. So
yeah,
this is gonna be the first one. I got my notepad down and everything. So we are going to Road America. So everybody here gets one pick.
And they can't be the same pick, right?
Correct.
All right, so
I got a random
number generator.
1 to 3.
All right, Gary, you're 1. Jay 2. I'm 3.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Okay. Let me hit roll right now. I got a 2.
Jay gets the pick first.
Oh boy. I have 3 distinct names I want to choose from. Who do I choose?
I wonder who our 3 picks will be.
I mean, I can't bet against Kyle Larson, so I'm going with Kyle Larson.
Okay. Jay goes with Kyle Larson. We're gonna roll again. Okay, we got a 3. That's Matt.
Chase Elliott.
You're gonna go with Chase Elliott. Okay. I'm gonna
I wonder
go.
who Gary.
I'm gonna go with Martin Truex Jr.
Wow!
wow, I
I
didn't
can't
see that
believe
coming.
it. I
That
can't
totally
believe
wasn't. That totally wasn't the 3 names I was thinking of.
it.
So
I mean, total shock.
now what we got to do is we got to predict the podium. So obviously we're not going to do it in order here because we're not going to choose different drivers. So
We're gonna have the probably 3 same drivers, those different orders.
so you said Perez is getting that diffuser, Jay?
Apparently.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna bank on it. I'm gonna say Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez. What about Matt? What do you think?
I'm gonna go balls to the walls and go Max, Perez, Hamilton.
All right,
I'm
Max,
gonna stick with.
Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton.
I'm gonna stick with kind of the same third place driver that I had last week, just because I think he could have been on the podium if it wasn't for his mistake on the first lap. So I'll go with Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc.
All right, so wow, we all have different podiums. So I had Verhamper. Matt has Verperham, and Jay has Verperlek. So we'll see who comes out on top of that. I think I'm gonna get this one.
Me or you?
Yeah, the Leclerc ain't on the podium. I'll do a shoey if he's on the podium.
Oh boy, here we go.
Ah, yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
saving them up for the end of the year.
The potential 5th shoey.
We're
I
saving
can't
them
wait
up.
to see this. I can't wait to see this video of just Gary just having like 8 shoes.
He's
and
gonna
just-
throw up by the end of it.
and he's like, and he does them all at once. Glug, 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 glug. He's gonna instead of like bonging a beer, he's gonna be bonging a shoey.
He's either gonna be throwing up by the end of it or have some kind of disease. Maybe one of those two.
It's gonna be COVID-20.
That's how it'll all start right there.
Man develops a new epidemic from drinking out of a shoe.
And then, quote, I thought Daniel Ricciardo was cool when he did it. We haven't gotten to see a shoey from him in forever. Man needs to be on the podium more.
He did one last year, right?
Too.
Yeah, because he got in Nürburgring and then wherever the heck else he got.
Imola.
Imola. Yeah, okay.
Imola.
If we can get a
I know he had
podium
the podiums. I
on,
don't know if he actually did one last year though or not. I don't remember seeing it.
if we can get a podium on Renault, we can get a podium on McLaren.
Oh, you know what? I kind of you've kind of forgot something, Gary.
What?
Don't you have a little nitro thing to say about a certain series? Maybe.
I'm back.
Yeah.
For F1. Oh, you know, we got 7 minutes. Yeah, I'm back for F1 Nitro.
Gary betrayed me. Decided to go with a different team.
I was
I'm
looking
hurt.
at the stats. I had 30 wins, which is the same amount of Cup wins I have in Nitro now. And
You have
2
30 F1
championships.
wins in probably 35 races.
Ah, man, it's got to be.
I
Like
think
45.
38 races then.
I know. I think Gary's in the 50s.
Really? He's
Uh,
lost 20? I don't believe it.
hang on. Give me a minute. Let me find the
I'll add
page.
on to the loss count to this weekend or whatever it is next weekend.
Next weekend. Yep. No nitro this week. Let me. I got the number for you, here, Gary. You have 55 starts.
So I lost
This man's lost
25.
25.
Step it up, Gary. You've lost almost as many as you've won.
Embarrassing.
No, it's just terrible, you know.
Well, I haven't been as fast lately because I just haven't been able to play it a lot.
We don't know because you never show up.
Well, I'm talking about like the last start I did. Well, actually, the last start I won. That was at Britain.
It was, yeah, I was
This guy.
going to say.
But that's not the point. That was just luck. I was just faster.
I was lucky. I was faster.
That was luck. I was just faster.
Actually, I remember like holding on at the end over Tyler. What happened to Tyler? I completely forgot about him.
He's just busy.
Yeah.
Okay, I completely forgot about that.
It's very likely after this season he's not gonna be here.
That's unfortunate. He's
I
fast.
think it's pretty much already guaranteed.
And then actually, next season guaranteed he won't be
Okay.
here.
And then
Yeah.
Eddie dipped from F1 apparently, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna hop in and do it.
And it's not like Tyler wants to quit. It's just I'm not gonna explain what he wants to do for a living, but he's gonna have to take a leave. Put it that way.
He's going to join the army.
I mean, you hit the nail on the fucking head.
Not specifically that, but
Oh, but was I somewhat right?
yeah.
yes.
You're close. You're very close.
Special agents or something. I don't know. Special ops.
I know what he wants to do,
But yeah, I guess we're gonna call it there though. So we got a couple minutes before the Tampa game starts to get prepared, sit down, put my Tampa jersey on, get ready, grab a cold brisk. Excited for that.
Yay, hockey.
You know what was the score of the game? You guys think, Jay? I'm thinking a 3.
I don't care as long as Tampa wins.
I'm thinking a 3-2 game, Tampa.
Give me 10-0 Tampa, and
I would love that.
I'll feel happy. I don't feel safe with it until we have like a 10-0 lead, and even then, I'll still want more goals just because it's possible they could come back. I am an Atlanta sports fan. Okay, no lead is safe until the game is over.
You know what? When we were up like 6-0 against the Islanders in the third period, it's weird. Like when you're down 6-0, it's like, man, it's over. We were up 6-0. I'm like, man, I do not feel good still about this.
That's how it feels being an Atlanta sports fan. Goodness gracious!
Like somehow they're gonna
That's
find
how
a
it feels
way.
to be. That's like a Lions fan thing too. Is you could be up by 20. I'm just like, I don't feel good.
You can be up 28-3.
28-3.
Lord, see, I don't know much about football, but we all know 28-3. So we are gonna call it there. If you guys enjoyed, you know what to do next week. Maybe there'll be some more charter news. Dale Jr. is just gonna come out of nowhere and be like, "I just bought
10 charters.
I just bought Hendrick Motorsports."
No, he's like, I bought Rick Guerrero Racing. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
He saves NASCAR.
With the way that Rick Ware is, he'd want $200 million for that team.
He'll pay it. But we'll have some NASCAR to talk about at Road America. We'll have some more F1 from Austria, and any silly season news that spikes or sparks up if that happens. So if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Thank you all for taking the time of your day to listen to us talk again for the 22nd time I think it is this year. So we will see you guys next week. Have a great day, everybody.